Tidbits from TNT, Monday, November 3, 2025. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. TNT. Tishwash. The Iraqi Development Fund signs 5 memoranda of understanding with foreign countries. The Iraqi Development Fund announced the signing of memoranda of understanding with 5 foreign countries, while indicating that there is an effort to establish an Iraqi-American investment fund. The director of the Iraq Development Fund, Mohammed Al-Najjar, said that the fund had signed several memoranda of understanding with a number of countries, including Japan, Germany, France, Britain and America. He noted that the memoranda of understanding with Britain were signed to provide continued support to the fund, which helped in rewriting many of the documents that make the fund globally accessible and able to be dealt with internationally. He added that there are great prospects in the memoranda of understanding with the United States of America, and we are seeking to establish an Iraqi-American investment fund, explaining that there will be a trip to America soon to turn the project into reality. Tishwash. 3 key tasks on the agenda of Trump's envoy to Iraq. Press reports revealed on Monday 3 main tasks on the agenda of Trump's envoy to Iraq, Mark Sava. Reducing the presence of Chinese companies in Iraq, influencing the shape of the next Iraqi government away from Iranian influence, and finding a specific formula for the popular mobilization forces. Reports followed by Al-Murbad, quoting American diplomatic sources, stated that the new American envoy to Iraq, Mark Sava, carries an agenda with which he will begin his work in Baghdad, based on 3 axes. The foremost of which is not renewing the work contracts of Chinese oil companies in the Iraqi oil fields, and that American companies will replace them. The sources explained that the other tasks assigned to Sava by Trump, to work on supporting the formation of a government in Iraq following the parliamentary elections scheduled for 11/11, are not subject to any pressure from Iran and are not controlled by the influential factions and currents loyal to Tehran. The sources confirmed that the third axis that Sava is tasked with working on and arranging upon assuming his position in Baghdad is to prepare a plan that Washington can act upon to find a real solution to the popular mobilization forces issue. Tishwash. Trump's envoy to Iraq begins his work by replacing military bases with investments. On the day that Mark Sava, President Donald Trump's envoy to Iraq, officially began his duties in Baghdad, the investment climate was already primed for the new American role. The massive contracts signed by the Iraqi government in recent months in the energy, airport, and financial reform sectors appeared to be a practical prelude to Washington's return to Iraq, but this time through investment rather than military bases. What has changed? In recent weeks, major U.S. deals in energy, airports, and financial reform have been announced, ranging from binding contracts to memoranda of understanding paving the way for future financing. The most prominent include Baghdad International Airport, a consortium led by Corporación América Airports, CAAP, won a contract to develop and operate the airport with an investment of approximately $764 million without government spending during the concession period. Liquefied natural gas, LNG, an agreement with Accelerate Energy to build the first floating LNG platform in Khor al-Zubair, Basra, at a cost of approximately $450 million and with a processing capacity of up to 500 million cubic feet per day. Akash Gasfield, Anbar, a contract with SLB to increase production to 100 million cubic feet per day after the cancellation of a previous contract. Electricity. A memorandum of understanding with GE Vernova to add approximately 24,000 megawatts of generating capacity, pending the completion of financing and implementation arrangements. Financial and banking reform. Advanced cooperation with Oliver Wyman on the central bank's program to restructure the banking sector and enhance compliance following U.S. restrictions on dollar transactions, in addition to its advisory role in financing the Development Road project. ExxonMobil's return. Baghdad and Exxon are on the verge of an agreement to develop the Majnoon oil field and cooperate on storage and export facilities, marking a return after its withdrawal from West Qurna-1 in 2023-2024. Politics in the service of the economy. Sava's announcement today, November 2, 2025. of its commencement of operations in Baghdad is a political translation of an existing economic trajectory. Fox News confirmed that Savaya was tasked with expanding economic relations with the Iraqi government and creating a more transparent business environment for American companies. Observers believe that Washington has chosen the economy as a new gateway to influence after years of military and political decline, while Baghdad is trying to capitalize on this return to stimulate the economy and alleviate financial pressures. But, have these investments ended the stagnation of the past decade? Partially, yes, if their conditions are met. According to an analysis published by GasWorld, the Accelerate Energy Agreement represents the beginning of restoring mutual trust between Baghdad and Washington, and is an indication of the United States' seriousness in returning to direct investment after a decade of stagnation. However, this path faces three key obstacles. 1. The dollar issue and compliance. Continued U.S. Treasury restrictions on Iraqi banks make financial stability a prerequisite for any investment expansion. 2. Security stability. Savaya's statements link economic partnership to the state's monopoly on the use of force, meaning that the security environment remains a crucial factor. 3. The legal framework. The success of energy projects hinges on stable contracts and financing, which has previously been hampered by the withdrawal of major companies like Shell and Exxon. In short, the arrival of Trump's special envoy in Baghdad and the influx of American companies represent a dual attempt to rebuild trust and build soft economic influence in Iraq. If Baghdad succeeds in stabilizing its security, financial, and legal environment, this could mark the beginning of a new chapter in the U.S.-Iraqi partnership after a decade of stagnation. However, if bureaucracy and security obstacles persist, these contracts will remain missed opportunities, or as Trump put it, Iraq has a lot of oil, but they don't know what to do with it. Listen to the full version on the official DinarReport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.